You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show.
All right, it's like a party up in here. Welcome, guys, to Project Runway, Season 13, Episode 2, Movie Night. And this was their first Unconventional challenge, and I'm glad they just got right to it.
Yeah.
It kind of sets apart the winners from the losers, I feel like.
It should, anyway. Yeah.
Well, it also just brings in attitude to the whole thing.
There was a lot of attitude tonight. And by the way, guys, I'm your host, Virginia Reyna Dunne.
And I'm Michelle Uberreste.
Hey, I'm Stef Z.
And we're still missing Amanda.
But like every week, like a piece of the puzzle comes back.
Yep.
It's like we almost have the band back. I don't know when she'll be back. Hopefully next week, and that would make that right. But I don't think
she's in Paris honeymooning.
Yeah.
So she'll
Can't
come
blame
back
her.
whenever.
Can't blame her.
We'll accept that excuse.
Yeah.
Once, only once.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Sorry, we're a little giggly here tonight. So this has got to be one of my favorite seasons so far. I feel like it's really good. And this whole challenge.
Episode 2.
No, but okay.
You say that every season.
There are definitely some seasons where it's like, I don't really like anybody, or there's just not a lot of talent that you see.
You know what I like about this season? What's evolving a lot for me is Heidi. Mm-hmm. She's kind of got a little bit of like a sass to her now.
Yeah,
more
she's
so
definitely sassy.
Yeah.
Like, it's my show, go home.
Kind of. But like I find it entertaining in a way that I find entertaining, at least.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the other thing that we saw, which everybody this episode seemed to have immigrated from somewhere.
Oh, I was going to let you lead that, but yes.
But I feel like everybody is from somewhere.
Yeah, it seemed like we were had the Fashion Olympics tonight.
It does seem like that, but I like them all. I think my favorite so far is Fade. I don't even think that's how you actually pronounce his name, because it has the little umlaut over the A.
Fod.
Yeah. I should know that since I lived in Germany for a few years, but I like him. I don't know. He's like Mr. Magoo.
I feel, he's got like a Christopher Lloyd thing going for me. Like, I just want him to say like 21,000 gigawatts and have like a big magnifying glass or something.
Nice. Okay, so we'll get into the episode because we don't want to run out of time here. So Heidi and Tim leave them a note in their apartment with a little box of popcorn, and basically say that they're gonna go to this movie theater, and they're all like ooh and ah when they get there, and I'm like, have they never been to like a fancy movie theater? Because they were all like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a little being mean tonight, but I wasn't that impressed.
No. We live in LA, we're desensitized.
A little bit, yeah. I think we're a little bit.
They all immigrated from like Russia and everything.
Right. But I think there's something cool. The thing with the movie for me was like, there was no movie.
There was no movie. How are they going to get inspired?
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be like either some like fashion movie, like Valentino's movie or whatever, or like the Prada Wears Runway. I mean, the Devil Wears Prada.
It's our first day back, guys.
It's been a long time. But yeah, like something somewhat fashion, and we didn't even get to see what it was. So was there no movie? Was it just like a big, you're going to use movie stuff?
I think it's about the materials and like the inspiration of the movie, because then you can have more like license to, you know, pick what you're gonna go with. It's like when we had our red carpet challenge, you can interpret it. You have more freedom. You can pick whatever you want.
Right.
You could say, oh, I'm gonna do one based on Godzilla, or I'm gonna do, you know.
Yeah, you got to pick your genre.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And I mean, it is more about the material since it is the unconventional challenge. But I was really surprised people didn't have like more of a genre other than futuristic. Like they could have done like something really cool like film noir or you know, like
that would have been right.
Yeah, there was just and they had so many materials to work with. I feel like, you know, because sometimes it's like you have licorice or flowers or you know something that really wilts. But I mean, they had really like the straws were cool that we saw them. They had a lot to work with. I felt like.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And like even if they saw a movie like The Great Gatsby or some like, you know, themed time movie, which there's so many good ones, or that would have been more fun for them. But again, I guess that would have gave them more direction, and giving them less direction is.
I think you can take your aesthetic or your, you know, your design that you are more comfortable with and take it. Like if you're given, like let's say you give, you know, like a 1920s movie or something, not everybody is into that, so then it becomes really hard, which is a good challenge also to step out of your box. But I think like so early in the game.
Well, then they threw in the, oh, by the way, it's a team challenge, and the people sitting next to you are in your team.
Yeah.
So that did make it a little bit more complicated for them.
Right, but you kind of knew that was coming. Like, did you see the way they were sitting? It was like people that didn't necessarily say the most awesome things about each other were sitting together.
It always works out that way.
Yeah.
There
was
I
no gun bag.
I feel like it's a double whammy, like team challenge, unconventional challenge, so early, like with 15 designers. It's ridiculous.
It was a doozy, I think, for some people. But
a doozy.
When we look at it, okay, so they broke the teams down into 5 teams of 3, and two of the teams picked futuristic. One said theirs was avant-garde, and the other one was just cocktail dresses. I mean, like cocktail dresses, that's not even a movie theme.
Right. Lack of concept.
But I guess it didn't really have to be a movie theme. It was more unconventional. So that's how they kind of skated away.
But like as a judge, I would take that into consideration. Your inspiration is supposed to be based on something that has to do with movies.
Right.
But we liked all their dresses.
No, I did.
You know, even though they were like, all right, let's do cocktail dresses, they used the movie stuff more so, not than any other team, but I think they were either tied for first or second with how they used the movie stuff. So they, you know, like in my mind, it was like, all right, let's do like cocktail dresses, like you're going out to a movie or this or that, and then they used their stuff. I mean, they were safe.
But if you went to a fashion show, you know, by a legit designer, and you're looking at the garments, can you tell what the inspiration was? Can you tell what the concept is by looking at the garments?
My question,
those with all the
I don't
CDs
think so.
and stuff, maybe.
Well, my question for you, Steph, is: are you wearing those cocktail dresses to a movie?
Yes.
You just said that's what you're wearing to a movie.
Yes, I am. That's what I wear all the time to the movies. That and my pajamas.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, there was a lot going on right away. There was, you know, in the workroom, there was a lot of discord over. It was the. Well, I guess I'm just the losing team. They just had problems like from day one because Zendaya had her own whole like silver dress with letters, which you really liked.
Yeah, I'm so team Zendaya, or you know, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think I'm close. I really liked her like it did, like we were saying while we were watching, when they were doing the silver theme, it did look a little bit futuristic and a little bit cheap kind of, or whatever, because it was silver, like weird. But I liked how she had like the movie film, and then she had the letters of the kiosk. Like she was being super creative, and she kind of got like berated for it. Like I feel like they made her feel bad, and then she was like, okay, I'll just go with what you guys want. And then at the end they like took it back in that it was her fault again, and it was like, no, that's not cool.
Yeah, I am really surprised by her because judging from what she did last week with like that floral print and how it was dyed to then this like really crazy futuristic dress, I feel like she has a lot to offer, and so I'm glad she didn't get sent home. But I mean, I don't know, I really wish we would have seen what else she was going to do with that, because it's a shame that she was like, okay, we're going to sew film strips, let's get this done. You know, and two, we've been talking, like we mentioned earlier, how all these people come from different places, and I feel like that might be something that hurts her in her culture. She's very sweet, and I feel like she doesn't want any confrontation. And I hope that she finds her power a little bit more, because I think she is a very good designer. And I don't, you know, like it kind of made me upset that how upset she was already. And it wasn't like she was like a lot of the other drama that we see on the show, or crying or being petty. It was like they were almost attacking her, and you could see it resonated with her. And especially last week in some of her pieces,
you know, to get on the show, you could see the suppression of voice and you know, her culture and all that. So I really hope that she becomes more comfortable with herself and shows us her stuff, because I think she's great. I'm so team Zendaya.
Well, and I think just because, you know, like how you said, she didn't want to disappoint her team. And after, you know, Carrie was like, well, you're not going to go home. I would go home. I think that's kind of how it hit her. Like, okay, I need to be a team player, not really show as much of my voice because my team wants me to do this. You know?
I think it's such a cop-out. Like, you can still express your own voice and say, like, yes, I'm going to jump on this concept, or yes, I'm going to jump on this fabric or this technique or whatever. I think they all just made the wrong decision to work that way. Like, I think all of them were guilty of it. I mean, I think I like Zendaya too. I think she has a lot of creative ideas. Whether she can execute that or not, or whether she can rein it in, I don't know. But I think she also has that, like you said, like, she's from India, I think, and she kind of presented some stuff in the beginning, like, oh, they suppress women, and, you know, it's... I think that's a very personal thing, and that's why it hurt her so much. But at the same time, like, this is the industry. You have to work with other people. Sometimes, and I think it's hard too when you have so many designers with different levels of expertise. Sometimes, you know, you have to go in there and pick a leader, someone who's going to decide, we're going to do this, and everybody needs to work with that. And you have to learn how to work within a set of standards. You can't just go off and do, like, whatever.
Right. And I think, exactly to what you're saying, I think that this might have been, if not the first, one of the beginning where she's been in those situations where it has to work with other people. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope she takes out of tonight's episode, I need to kind of do me a little bit more and speak up for myself, because if she would have in return talked them into going on her concept more, and maybe not the silver, like, I know we all thought the silver was a little bit off, but her concept was more along the lines of the winning team's concept.
It was movie. It looked movie.
It looked movie. So if she would have been like, no guys, trust me, like, you know, and I think it was because they poked at the thing, well, you're safe, it doesn't matter. So I think it was a little bit of everything, but I mean, again, it's the first team challenge, so all that stuff kind of happens.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, I want to ask you, Michelle, like, in team challenges, like, well, I mean, I guess there's no telling, like, how much we didn't see versus how much we saw.
I think you don't see most of it.
Right.
So it's hard to tell, like, were they really being mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Was that what you saw?
From being on the show, do you think that the general statement is that they'll show more of the negative stuff happening rather than the positive? Like, because we didn't see a lot of, you know, clearly the winning team had a lot of cohesion, and we didn't see a lot of, like, yeah, girl, get it, yeah,
you don't see that. And I mean, I think
the drama.
I feel like when you're working with all these other designers, most people are supportive. Most people want kind of everybody to do well and stuff like that. I mean, they have to set up the story,
right?
So you know, they end up not doing well, and if the story doesn't make sense, even though it's reality TV, then it doesn't make sense to the viewer. Right. So, you know.
Right, because speaking of that, then they were also setting up where Angela kind of had her own downfall, because, you know, we see, like, Sean and Fod, they had these really great, amazing looks, and they wanted to be villains, and she just off the bat didn't want to be a villain.
Right.
Which it was like, no, we're not going to be angels. We're villains. Like, we've decided, just kind of roll with that. And, you know, she was like, oh, well, I had my wedding, and so I want to do this thing for my wedding. But it's like,
well, do it on an individual challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really sad how she kind of brought those two down, because their two looks were really good.
I was totally in love with both of those as well.
You know, at the end of the day, I kind of liked her look. Like, I liked her concept, I guess, but it didn't look finished to me. If she would have put a lot more on, or tied the other two somehow into it, because I got the script, like, that was a really cool idea to me, to cut up the scripts and use all that. But yeah, it just didn't, and maybe it was because she was in her own flowery world before for too long and didn't have enough time. Because, like, the sides, I don't know if you saw, but the sides were, like, completely just kind of blank.
Well, and if you, like, when we saw, Sean was saying, hey, can I help you? It was Sean, yeah. Sean was saying, hey, can I help you? Like, let me, you know, cut some out and add some on. And she was like, no, only one, like, this is a one-person job, basically, and I'm going to do it. You know, so I think if she would have let him help, even if it wasn't exactly the way she was doing it, it would have added to the volume and, you know, could have really been a little bit more cohesive.
I liked it. It just wasn't cohesive. And I mean, you're making a dress out of paper. It's never, you could tell it was crinkled. It just wasn't good. I loved the technique that she did with the cutouts. I thought that was super cool and original, but it's like, again, team challenge, you have to be a team player in some capacity. If you're right off the bat saying, I'm not going to do your guys' concept, then how is that going to turn out?
It would be really interesting in the team challenges if you each had to work on each piece for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun twist.
That would be horrible as a designer, though. I would hate that.
Right,
I'm really a type A person, and I even remember when I would do my projects, if someone else like touched my stuff, I would be like, "What are you doing?"
But that would be so much more of a challenge, and to be able, like, if it was the three of us and I made mine was gonna be like, why are you laughing?
I'm just thinking that would be so much more drama, and yes, I would love to watch that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If I was like, okay, but then within the team, I got to be like, okay, my look is gonna be tuxedo pant and this. You got to be like, okay,
Are you obsessed with
I'm gonna
tuxedo
make
pants right now?
I kind of am. Michelle's gonna make me some custom pants. I'm super pumped. Like if you were like circle skirt, whatever, and then we each had to, like, I had to work on your circle skirt, and you had to work on my pants. Like, I feel like that would be so dope.
I would like to know what the rules are, because on my season, they told us we could do whatever. Somebody can make all three. You can do whatever you wanted. Like, in our team challenge, I worked with Sam and Asha, and, like, I draped Sam's top, and he helped me make the harness. And it was like, we did whatever, like, to help each other finish.
Right.
And, you know, it was a team thing. So I wonder if they told them, like, you have to make your own garment, or you can
maybe,
do whatever.
because that's how someone gets
Well,
gone.
I don't think they did that, because I think she said, "I don't want your help." And I think because
they seem to be helping each other.
Like, this is only the second episode, I feel like they're very still individual and they want to have their own work.
Right.
So,
I think that was a huge downfall for some of them to have it so early on, because they don't even know. I mean, the first time you walk into the workroom, you have to get a feel for it. It's scary, you know. You have to kind of feel how the whole thing goes. It's not like normal life. So, I mean, they're only on the second episode. They don't even know what they're doing, and then they have to work with all these other people that don't even really know that well yet.
That's why it's dramatic. And we see tears.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, so green team was Alexander, Emily, and Samantha, and they had the avant-garde look. And I didn't even really feel like it was that avant-garde.
Nothing was really
They had the really cool, like, white scaly top. But
I love that.
I love their looks, but I didn't think it was
I didn't think it
avant-garde
was
at
that
all.
avant-garde. But it was cool.
Yeah. Are we going through them? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we've already talked about the other two teams.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Samantha's I loved.
Yeah, it was like a white scaly top and then the film strip bottom. It just had a lot of movement. Like,
Yeah.
I really feel like they had a good sense of, you know, they wanted something to move, and it was wearable, and I mean, you could see something like that on the runway.
I liked that group a lot. I liked, you know, the film skirt, and Samantha's dress is one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too.
Wasn't a big fan of Emily's dress with the big hips.
No.
And I don't know if it's because I have some hips, so I don't think anyone should.
It just wasn't right.
accentuate.
Like it could have been better proportioned.
But I feel like you would see it on the runway, though. Like, I feel like that was the most avant-garde look of the looks. Like, if that's what they were really going for.
Right.
And models can pull it off. Us normal people
didn't Emily and Fade kind of have the same hips? They used hats. They both of them did. I really liked Fade's a lot more. I felt like that was executed correctly with big hips.
For Fades, I put weird mermaid.
It
Weird
was like,
good mermaid.
Well, it was just like the top was just like leathery, weird to me, and the bottom looked a little. No.
Well, because he didn't know what he was doing. Remember, he had it like the black top
Yeah.
with the white, and then he was like, okay, I need to shove something under there so it's not too short. So then he added the film strip. So it was definitely an afterthought. But
Wasn't a fan.
I kind of liked it.
Okay.
I don't think it was the worst, and I think it had some originality to it.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I liked Alexander's too. It was like the swirl of film strips. It looked like she'd, you know, gotten
love
tangled
that
up and
one.
rolled around, and then out came this great dress.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I really liked theirs too.
I kind of think I like theirs better than the winners.
Mm-hmm.
I liked a lot of people's better than the winners. I think the winners.
I liked maybe all of them better than the winners.
Yeah, I really liked. No, it wasn't Angela's. It was Mitchell's dress. He had the really cool
straws?
CD dress.
Oh.
No, the CD
No,
dress.
yeah.
that was just like the colors that it gave off, and you know, it looked like something you could really wear.
I love this. I thought it was so high end, and I could tell it was Mitchell. It kind of has that little like trashy touch on it, but it's like still really fun and like well done, and like I could totally see it on the runway. Like,
well, that's why, and they were the ones that said the cocktail dresses.
Yeah,
we all love them.
I didn't say that there was anything wrong with them. They just didn't have it movie. Like, it wasn't a genre of anything. But it worked. They used the unconventional materials, and I don't know. That dress was just amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
I liked Char's dress, too. I'm a Char fan. Yeah,
she like curled them somehow.
There's something to me, too, that I like, and I've noticed that I like. In my eyes, I like repetition. So I liked... You know, like seeing it all, like the train track tour, you know what I mean? Like seeing it all go together, but then like coming out and having like its own fun little ending to each one. Like I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
I can't believe they just sewed that many tickets together and they stayed and they were formed to the body correctly. Like that is impressive.
Yeah, super impressive.
Yeah, the only person in the group I didn't really like was Keeney's.
The popcorn dress?
It was like too poofy. It looked like it just added
the hips. The hips weren't... Right, but it looked very work intensive.
It looked awful. Like it looked like
how do you really feel?
No, I mean it didn't
like
look
trash.
No, I mean like it looked
the
like it was
things
awful
out
to
of
make.
the trash.
Like,
yeah,
it looked like you would be hating your life at like sewing that at like 10 at night. Like, oh, why did I do
what was
so
that
much
made
poofy?
out of?
Popcorn.
No,
it was like
the popcorn containers.
The containers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because they were like ruffled, and I wouldn't want to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't look fun.
All right.
But I still liked their groups better than Team Silver, which was Christine, Karina, and Amanda. And they're the last people to talk about, really. And I don't know. I just think they have, like, mean people on a team. And I hate when the mean people win. It reminds me of when Amanda was with Michelle on her season. Do you remember those two together? They were, like, the worst of the worst. Michelle won her season.
But this is not a... who's the nicest competition.
I know, but you know, she just came in and she's like already like ruling the roost.
Number one, sorry, I mean to interrupt. I am not a fan of this bring your old loser designer back. She lost. The end. Move on, find a new face, because it's like I just don't think it's fair. Like, as much as she brags about, like pretty much every time she brags, all I hear is, I was a loser, and they took me back.
I mean, I kind of agree. Like, you have previous experience being on the show.
It's a horse
Go
crap.
on All-Stars.
Go on All-Stars. Go on, I mean, even if you go on, like, Under the Gun, something that's, like, different, not, I mean, it's kind of the same.
You've had that
but
experience
it's, right.
before.
But it's like, no.
I think
Loser.
if they're going to do that, I wouldn't have picked Amanda.
Well, I'm sure that's why they
America
picked Amanda.
Well, let's be
the United
clear about
Nations
that.
picked Amanda.
Yeah, no, but the other thing is because that gave her team an unfair advantage because, you know, at the beginning of this challenge, she even said they don't like it when you use regular materials. Let's think out of the box more.
Okay, but if you watch Project Runway, you should know this.
But there are some people that go on the show that have never watched the seasons before.
and people, like, everyone has their opinion because most of them probably have watched the show. But when you hear that opinion from someone that's, well, in my previous experience of watching rather than my previous experience because I was on the show, but and she just has an attitude about it. She's not gracious. I'm not the biggest fan of her. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want her to go home.
Yeah.
I mean,
she can come talk to us though. Maybe she can change my mind. Amanda, if you're out there, I think you might live in LA. We'd love to have you as a guest, and maybe I'll understand more why. We'd love to have any of you guys as a guest on our show, actually, or call in. But yeah, it kind of irks me that they bring someone back and then she's kind of like, well, yeah, since I've known, it took me 3 years to win a team challenge. Like, come on.
Yeah,
you gotta have the drama.
We'll be waiting for Amanda to call in.
I would love it.
After that,
Come on, Amanda, call in. Hey, I'm just trying to tell it how it is. We all feel it.
I agree. I think it's very like unattractive when designers act that way, or anyone really. But again, it's really not a Miss Congeniality award. It's like, who is the best designer? You have to like.
Right, but she already lost.
Right. I get that part.
Okay, and I think the thing that makes it the worst for me is that I actually liked her dress the best. I know you guys didn't, but I liked her dress the best, and it made me sad to like it. Out of the winning ones, I was like, why did it have to be Amanda?
Out of the winning ones, I liked Karina's dress.
Me too.
The green strips.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting when she said that the middle strips around the bust were made from those plastic letters, because I thought it was just more duct tape.
I love the bracelets. Simple.
The bracelet. I want one of those.
But perfect.
I'm gonna go steal some letters and like make a bracelet.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even see the bracelets.
It was just the letters, like the plastic letters, and she curled them around her wrist. It was simple, but it was really cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe my first job was working at a movie theater, and maybe one night we went and changed the marquee around to say some fun stuff.
Really? What did it say?
I'm not gonna say that on television.
Okay. Well, then you'll have to tell us after.
Yeah.
And then who else was there? Christine. The neon lettering. I thought it was a cool concept to start with, but she definitely ran out of time.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad she put the green stuff underneath, because at first, who was it that said there was going to be a lot of nippy slippies? I think it was Alexander. But yeah, because at first it was looking like, her model was naked under there.
Right.
Well, I really liked her concept when she was first standing there with the long piece with all the letters. I thought she was going to wrap it around so that there would have been layered letters, so that would have created you would tell that it's letters, but it would have created its own like kind of pattern, because it would be like a darker letter, a lighter letter, a darker letter, because there would be another layer of clear. Like, I thought it could have been more creative. Why are you looking at me like that?
I think that'd be super busy.
No.
I'm just trying to think how many layers you're going to need.
No, just
so
like one. So it's not like, so it wasn't just so clean.
I liked it. I wish it was cleaner. Then I might have.
She's like, I wish there was only one letter on the thing.
No, I mean,
So
I liked how it was so geometric, and because if you look at a marquee, I mean, that's it. There's nothing else on it. And
yeah. She didn't win.
Well, and I think, speaking of the geometric, that reminded me of when Angela was talking to, I think it was Sean, and how Sean had sent them to the makeup and hair, the models, and then Angela was like, wait, did you do this with the thing? And he's like, you don't even have a dress.
Yeah,
made?
she was talking about like the eyeshadow.
Yeah,
Did you
she
make
was really upset about the eyeshadow, which I think that's like exactly how I am, like super type A. I know exactly what I want, but sometimes I run out of time.
I get it. I'm a perfectionist too, but at a certain point, you have to make a smart decision to yourself to like dictate some.
You gotta be real.
If you're not ready, what's the best thing for you? Not have a dress, but awesome eyeliner? No, like not on Project Runway. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
That's the truth.
I liked it.
I can't disagree with you there, Michelle.
So wait, if you guys didn't, okay, so we already kind of gave it away that Amanda's team won. If they didn't win, who would you have picked to win?
I would have picked Samantha, Emily, and Alexandra. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a toss-up
I wish
between
I
them
could
and
have just picked
Mitchell.
Sean, because I kind of liked his dress the best out of everything.
His coat?
The Cruella
the
de Vil
coat.
jacket?
Yeah, and the coat dress.
That was really cool. I really liked the concept of that.
Me too.
Yeah. I have high hopes for Sean.
Me too. He's kind of my him and Sandia, whatever.
He has kind of a cool head. He kind of has a thought process instead of just running
from
in
New
there like
Zealand.
a chicken with his head cut off, like I see half of the designers doing, and I'm like, that's not the way to approach this. You know, like he really thinks about what he's doing, and I feel like he has some experience behind that.
Yeah. Who were you most disappointed with this week?
Personally,
Yes, personally.
like,
I think you said Hernan, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
I
you've
liked
been
it,
saying you
though.
liked him from the
I
beginning.
do, and I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't disappointed by his dress. I think it just wasn't like completely thought out. Like I think some of the proportions weren't there and stuff, but I wasn't really disappointed. You only have a day. I mean, they only had till 10:30. Do they even have a full day? I don't know. That's a lot of work involved.
Yeah, you definitely have a different viewpoint than me, because I'm like, you had a day.
Yeah.
Everybody else had a
Get
day.
it together. That's what
Right.
she signed up for. I think I was most disappointed with Carrie, and this is why. That's her name, right? You're both looking at me weird.
Because
Yeah.
she gave up.
No, because I think that attitude and like we were talking is a very big part of the show, of the profession, of everything. And at the end when she was crying and she was saying because one person couldn't be eliminated, I thought that was a very victim, woe's me. And it just made me be like, I'm really glad that she's gone.
I was really hoping they were going to send two people home just
Me
to shake
too.
it up.
I definitely didn't think it was her time. I agreed with her, but I do agree with you. I feel like she could have left a little more gracefully. Like I feel it was a little defeatist from the beginning, and then she was kind of like saying like, this is stupid, and I'm just like, okay, well, even if
like
it's
she
stupid,
said it was stupid to Zach Posen. You just don't do that.
Right. That's gonna cut off a lot of stuff. But
yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's frustrating, especially so early on.
Right, and you got.
But even if it is stupid, just thank you. Okay. So yeah, I was disappointed in that too, but I didn't think it was her time either.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's go ahead.
Well, even when they were up there talking about like their whole decision, who should go home, who shouldn't, and they're saying, oh well, you should pick someone else that's not even up here on stage. Why? Like that's not even really something to bring up because they're the judges. They've already decided that your looks are the worst, and now you're saying Angela should go home, who's from like a completely different team. I mean, that's going to get you nowhere, I feel like.
Hey, that happened to me, too.
I feel like the judges
they
egged
asked
it
her.
Yeah, they egged it on
her,
a little bit.
You know?
But you know what? You know what's funny is, I mean, I don't think that, I forgot his name, who got sent home last week.
Jefferson.
I don't think he should have went home either.
Me neither.
No.
Is that going to be the trend?
Yeah, like I feel like, are we going to all be like... I don't know. Is like Keeney gonna win the whole thing? Like who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's something that they're saying. I agree. Last week, I don't think Jefferson should have gone home either. But they know exactly what they're looking for, and they definitely thought those people were the worst. So, and they couldn't eliminate Zendaya.
Yeah.
So,
well, I get that the collection wasn't cohesive. I mean, it was too cohesive.
Right.
I get that it
dress.
wasn't like it didn't make any sense.
It wasn't cohesive. It was the same.
If they would have added like another element, or somebody did a jacket, or somebody did pants. I mean, it was 3 dresses out of movie tape, right?
Should have done a tuxedo pant.
Something. I mean, you can't you don't see collections that are just all the same fabric, all dresses. There was a couple other collections that was all dresses too. When you go in there, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do a dress because it's easy. But if you're on a team challenge, like you're doing a collection, you can't just all do a dress. Like, that's unacceptable.
I think they were all dresses today.
It'd be really cool on a team challenge too to do a 3-piece outfit. So like someone has to do
In a day. Yeah, that would be.
No, one outfit
Oh, yeah.
all together.
I think that
Like someone could make a hat. Like how one of them, I forgot who she was talking about, making shoes out of the
I would have
movie
died to
reels.
see that.
You know what I mean? So they have to make. It can either be like top 1, pants 1, hat.
Or
1, 2,
jacket.
3, or jacket, or scarf, or shoe, or they have to have a 3-piece, and like necklace or bracelet doesn't count. Can't be like just a straight up accessory, but like it could be like something. I think that'd be super cool.
Well, it couldn't be accessories because then what's Aldo gonna do for their advertising?
They're gonna be pissed.
But Karina did make bracelets.
Yeah.
So.
All right,
Karina, I want one of your bracelets.
Yeah,
so
me too.
in case you guys missed it, so we already gave it away that Amanda wins, boo, and Carrie gets kicked out. I was kind of okay with that since she was kind of being Rudy attitudey. But, and then also the guest blogger was Garen Story. I've never even heard of her. She was a fashion blogger. So if any of you guys know about her, I didn't really agree with a lot of her comments. She just, I don't know.
I don't really remember them, to be honest. They didn't make me feel one way or another.
I just wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
And
I liked
because,
her hair.
everybody was just very feisty, I felt like, tonight. And even when they were kicking off Carrie, she
was really argumentative.
She was.
And it's just like, okay, how many years does Zach Posen have on you in the design field? Like,
right.
I get it. You can disagree. I disagreed with my judges too, but you have to do it respectfully. Like, they deserve respect, they have that experience. You should at least listen to what they're saying. No.
Yeah, but you were nice about it. Like, Carrie was just completely like, you're wrong. I think
that's
you're
what
wrong.
I'm saying. Like, you need to.
And Heidi was like, bye-bye, it's my show.
Right.
Like,
I love her this
right.
season. I've never loved her so much. She kind of irked me in previous seasons, and I kind of like want to go like have a beer with her. I do.
Nice. Invite
Heidi,
me.
you and me, whiskey.
All right, so I know, Steph, you said you had some predictions for this season.
Did I?
You did. You did when we just watched it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about Keeney winning the whole thing.
No, I like Sean.
I do too.
I like the Kiwi.
Yeah.
All of us agree. Come on.
No, I do like Sean.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, I do like Sean. I also really like Samantha. I just think she thought out of the box. So
I do too.
Samantha.
she
was
was
so
the one
funny.
with the scaly thing.
Yeah, I like her
She
too.
looks so normal and she acts so normal, and the things that she creates are just like crazy amazing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
She's
like
unpredictable.
Sandia too. Sandia, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't have the emotional wherewithal.
She's gonna grow. Give me a call.
No, I think you said something about Angela.
Did I?
The disaster.
Oh, well, I said when we were watching and like her dress was a piece of paper for the first like 40 minutes of the show, I was like, watch, it's going to be awesome, her dress. So I was kind of wrong. My prediction was with it that it was when we were watching, it was about this episode. And I was kind of wrong.
Oh.
She was still a disaster.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It just was not done. If she had another day.
Or not paper.
I liked the paper thing. Like
I
liked
liked the
she
paper,
couldn't,
but not the
script.
paper body. The body just looked so.
No.
Like
She the paper needed to be more of like a trim or something.
Yeah.
The script.
The little things that she cut up. That part was great.
Yeah. The rest was terrible.
Yeah, and then I don't know who's gonna go home next. I mean, I feel like
yeah. Or if she would have made the dress out of like the films, you know what I mean, like the green films or the white the things you put over the lights that they had.
Oh yeah.
And then put the script on top of that. Boom.
Yeah, she needed to do something else.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Got excited about that dress.
Yeah, next week they did say they're talking about the future. So
yes,
the future of fashion.
The future of fashion.
We saw a good hood.
We did, and also Heidi said she would never want to wear somebody's outfit now or in 20 years. So I don't know who that could be. Anyway, hey Steph, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IAMSTEFZ.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberreste, and my website is MichelleUberreste.com.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Virginia Reyna. Thanks so much for tuning in, and see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.